All right, ladies and gentlemen, Superstock round number 1 of eliminations underway. I apologize for we did not catch our saying of the prayer online or on air. I do apologize for that. Round number 1, Superstock eliminations. Up first, Mark Hackett, Mercury Poison, up against Michael Coker in the Schools Out entry. Mark Hackett, current points leader in Superstock, current points champion in Superstock, and a good, clean launch. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Hackett pulling away by a very large margin. All right, in the left lane, Bobby Frizzell in the Legacy 63 Ford Galaxy taking on Robert Peffley in the Ultra Bad 4-speed Stampede Plymouth wagon. This is going to be a murderous. Yes, indeed. Robert Peffley, very, very strong, solid run, putting Bobby Frizzell, the Legacy 63, back on the trailer. Headed back home where the show starts all over again. As I say, ladies and gentlemen, drag races are won in the shop. The drag strip is just a byproduct of the effort put forth back home in the shop. And as you can see, Robert Peffley has done some work. That car is on rails and flying. Dale Morton, Lucille taking on Rich Norton in the right lane. Rich Norton, a newcomer to us in the Superstock ranks. Dale Morton, one of the more seasoned guys, has been out here for a long time, since the start of the Superstock category. About 4 years, I believe, in the making now. Dale Morton off to a very strong start. Dale Morton, Lucille taking the win, round 1. Ben Rivers in the left lane taking on Ron Allison in the right lane. Ron Allison, one of our more elder competitors out here today in that red and white Chevy 2. Ben Rivers, a Chrysler-powered Belvedere. This is going to go down as quite the drag race. I do believe favors may be falling on Ron Allison, as he has made a few rounds at the last couple of races, and he is definitely a man with a quite long resume in racing of all forms, motorcycles, boats, cars. He has been there, done that. Ben looked like he got the jump on Ron, but not enough. The horsepower of Ron taking over, shutting off early for some reason, but still taking the win. Chris Austin, the partner car from the Rick Varner Stables, big old 63 Chevrolet Impala taking on the Zach Long station wagon, Belvedere station wagon, Zach Long, the Brass Monkey. Burnouts are complete, getting ready to perform the staging line duties. Starting line duties. Chevrolet fans rejoice as Chris Austin just put that Plymouth on the trailer. One of the backup girls running out to get that up off the track. Don't know what it was, if it's a safety issue or what. Holding up competition here for just 1 second. Back underway with Tyler York. Tyler York, the son of TJ York, current B-Gas World Champion. Tyler, my goodness, current B-Gas World Champion TJ York. His son Tyler, third generation drag racer in that Chevelle. In the left-hand lane, called Grumpy's. Tyler York, I tell you, he may be in trouble. And he is the Gold Dust Barracuda. Wow, what a drag race that was, folks. Brian Oles putting Tyler York, third-generation drag racer, on the trailer. I'm going to tell you, his dad, T.J. York, the current B-Gas world champion, probably not going to be very pleased with that. And, by the way, that was the other team car of the Rick Varner stables. Now, Rick Varner, the team owner in the black Chevrolet Camaro. This is a car that was constructed this year specifically for Sega Superstock competition. Rick was running a 63 Impala, very competitive, very winning car last year in Superstock, but this year he felt the Camaro would be a better platform. So far, it has not panned out to be that, but I can tell you this, he will keep working endlessly on this car to make it work. In the other lane, Johnny Royals in the breeze, 67 four-door Chevelle. A good run for both cars, but about a car length win for Rick Varner in the Camaro. Up next, Todd Huffstetler in the Night Train. In the left lane. Right lane, his opponent going to be Houston Neese. Car is not fired, is not pulled into the water box just yet. Don't know if there is a problem with Todd starting the burnout, completing the burnout in that beautiful Chevelle. Here comes Houston Neese rolling down. May have had an issue getting the car to start, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, he is taking a bye run. Huffstetler has a bye run. I was misquoted, misinformation down here on that. Todd Huffstetler had a bye run. That was legit. Based on his qualifying position, that gave him a bye run. Now, two-bit racing. Houston Neese, yellow Chevy 2. If you don't like yellow, look away, because this one will knock your eyeballs out. Actually, that run for Todd Huffstetler there was a competition single, as his competitor Rick Cathcart was unable to make the call. Houston Neese, a good strong launch. Again, Houston Neese, that becoming a competition single as well, because Don Wilhott, his competitor, Don Wilhott, unable to make the call for first round of eliminations. All right, first round, Seagas competition. Larry Floyd in the left lane, Stud Muffin Chevy 2 wagon taking on Diana Casto in the Ford Fairlane. Quick draw, Ford Fairlane, Diana Casto, Larry rolling in and launches, welding her to the tree. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what a high-winding Chevrolet small block sounds like. Josh Pruitt, Youngblood, taking on Steve Bright in the Carolina Flash Barracuda. One of the more beautiful cars on the circuit for Steve Bright. I tell you what, that thing harkens directly back to the days of old in Seagas competition. If that does not scream 1967, nothing does. I would have to go so far as to say if that is not a replica of 1967, then the year 1967 must have not existed. Josh Pruitt, Youngblood, in the left lane. Again, this guy has been to the finals. Josh has won races. He is a serious competitor. Steve Bright yet to win a race, but let's see how it comes down. Josh Pruitt, Youngblood, taking the win. We have seen this couple paired up in qualifying second round. Larry Noel, the Crazy Horse 55 Chevrolet, and the Flower Power entry being driven by Alexis Phillips. This car originally campaigned by Cynthia Phillips, Quainstott, Southeast Gassers Association founder. His wife, a girlfriend of many, many years, my sister-in-law, if you will, unfortunately succumbed to cancer earlier part of this year, about a month ago. Now, she left this very, very capable race car in the hands of her niece, Alexis Phillips, a much younger version of herself. She wanted this car to stay in competition. One of the most sought-after cars from the fan perspective on the Southeast Gassers Tour is the Flower Power 56 Chevrolet entry. Right now, her hands is full. Larry Noel, past world champion, past race winner. Close, but not close enough. About a car length between the two. Larry Noel advancing into round two at the expense of Alexis Phillips in the Flower Power entry. Billy Wilson, Troublemaker, Studebaker pickup truck, taking on Scott Wallace and the Indian Express. Billy Wilson qualifying number 6, Scott Wallace qualifying number 9. 14 entries in the C-Gas category. Good side shot view there from the Troublemaker entry of Billy Wilson. Watch them launch. Billy Wilson taking that one by 2 or 3 car lengths over the Indian Express entry of Scott Wallace. Tim Hall, Scalded Dog. Again, this guy is a gentleman and a scholar. Not only is he a school teacher at the local high school where he lives at in South Carolina, teaching auto mechanics, but he's also part of the National Guard, defending this great nation when duty calls. And in his spare time, he puts together one heck of a drag race car. He has also competed and won in many other forms of drag racing. Throughout the years, a lot of the, oh Lord, I can't think of the name of it, these big drag races where they drive across the country and do those kind of things. He has won in those. He certainly knows, him and his dad, knows how to get this car to the finish line ahead of the other car. When he launches, look for big wheel stands. This is a show-stopping hot rod for sure. Taking on in the other lane, Ernie Smith and the Saturday. Ernie not having a good day with that one. The Saturday Night Special been giving him some trouble all year long. Tim Hall walking away with the win by a very, very large margin. Shannon High in the left lane taking on Ben Shaw. Ben Shaw going to the finals of our past event in Shadyside. Did not win it, but he did make it to the final round. Shannon High doesn't meet us with every race, but I do think he may be going to make the full circuit this year. So far, he hasn't missed any. Ben Shaw, him and his dad, Kevin Shaw. Kevin originally built this truck, campaigned himself, his dad, Ben's dad, Kevin. Also the owner of Shaw Audio. They handle all of our audio equipment for our drivers' meetings and things like that at the races. Based out of the Tennessee area. This year, Ben decided, hey, Dad, I think I can do better than you driving this old odd rod pickup truck. How about you give me a try at it? Well, as it turns out, he in fact done a great job. And I think Kevis knew the writing was on the wall, and so he said, son, it's yours. Go do the best you can. Now Dad Kevin standing outside serving crew chief duties, and the pair of them put this thing in the final round at our last race, but they got to get past the first round to do it today. It's a clean start. There is a Ford putting a Chevrolet on the trailer. Ben Shaw going to round 2 at the expense of Shannon High. Left lane, Jenny Moses, the better half of JT Moses in the A-Gas entry. This is Jenny Moses in C-Gas. Beautiful, beautiful. Hot rod painted up by the wonderful Vanderpool. Can't never think of his first name. Anyway, this car definitely has that 60s era paint going on with it. Up against Jimmy Huff in the right lane. Ford versus Chevrolet. Paul Vanderpool. That's the name of that paint artist that you see on that beautiful 55 Chevrolet of Jenny's. Jimmy Huff rocking and rolling. Wow. Beautiful run for Jimmy Huff. That car was a rocking and a rolling, man, putting out the moves. Jenny Moses had no chance in the scream machine. Wayne Swafford, the red Chevy 2, more commonly known as Leroy. Baby got a name because she is fast. This is the beginning of B-Gas competition right here. Wayne Swafford taking what apparently must be the bye run as a number 1 qualifying entry. Wayne Swafford, number 1 qualifier on a bye run. B-Gas is full of entries. 23 cars in B-Gas competition. This will be 5 rounds of competition. Leroy off of the starting line, rolling them gears. Shutting down early, just making sure that all is clean on the first half or so of the racetrack. When you number 1 qualifier and you got that kind of performance advantage, you don't always have to show everything you got. You can go out there and take a little bit of an easy run in the first round of eliminations. Daniel Haynes, the Patriot Ford Falcon, taking on Adam Lohorn, the wheel stand king across the nation. Adam Lohorn in the Rod Slinger Falcon. Both of these cars Ford powered. You can look for both of them to do a pretty serious wheel stand, and you might even see that of Adam Lohorn dragging the rear bumper. But the point of this is not a wheel stand competition, not a burnout competition. This is all about drag racing and who can get to the finish line the fastest. Or should I say the quickest, because drag racing is all about time, not about speed. Pre-stage, both cars are in the pre-stage bulbs. Adam is in, waiting on Daniel. Good job by Daniel Haynes putting Adam Lohorn on the trailer. Adam going to have quite a ride back to his hometown up in Illinois, I believe he's from. Going to be a long ride, but hey, he had a great time this weekend at putting that old Rod Slinger in front of a great crowd of people down here in Alabama. Trevor Weiss in the 1940 Willys called the Chili Pepper, taking on Troy Lightner in the Shakin' Bacon Henry J. B-Gas competition, round number 1. Who's it going to be? They have pulled into the pre-stage bub. Troy with a major hole shot, welding Trevor to the tree. That Chili Pepper may be beautiful, but that does not make it fast. He can load it up and go home, try again on another day, as Troy Lightner are going to take it into round number 2. What a shot of Colby Welch there, laying down. Look at the heat coming on them tires. I hear you, young man. Colby Welch in the Moonbeam Ranchero wagon. There is Dad walking behind him. They're going to back it up. Sister Riley out front. Beautiful shot of that glamorous looking purple, knock your eyes out Moonbeam entry of Colby Welch. There's Dad's legs standing in the way of the camera. Dad's Stacy Welch. They hail out of the Indiana, Illinois area as well. Car is in the beams. Riley walking away saying, "She's all yours, brother. Let her go." Looking from down track, about mid-track, lined up there with Danny Graham, Studebaker entry out of Texas. Something going on. The tree was incredibly long, but Colby Welch, that Ranchero is Ford powered. She is Ford true and true, buddy. And did he just lay down a wicked pass? Don't know what was going on with the starting line right there. It looked like it held them boys for a long time. And I can tell you from a driver's standpoint, when that tree gets hung like that, that feels like an eternity. And you really got to have control of yourself not to dump that clutch. Michael Walters in the Papa's Wild Willys, 1940 Willys, red as red can be, taking on Joey Birch in the right lane. Joey in the Freebird Chevy 2. This car goes back again to their dad's racing exploits in the 60s, 70s, all the way up to his passing. And Joey has got her going. Joey Birch and his brother Jerry, I tell you what, they are a formidable team. These guys have been around. They've done it all except win a championship. They have been number 2. They have been considered the bridesmaids. They have been there multiple times, have yet to clinch it, but do not let that sink in that those two guys cannot put you on the trailer at any moment. Left lane, Chuck. Nope. Getting ahead of myself. Left lane, Ray Fassel. In the right lane, Dan Hogan. Dan Hogan in the flat-out Ford Falcon. Left lane, busting loose, Ray Fassel. Pretty good shot right here. Both cars in view. Ray getting ready to go in. RPM's up. Welding him, Ray did, to the starting line. That is how you win a drag race, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Fassel leaving first on Dan Hogan, leaving him behind on the starting line and never missing a beat all the way down the racetrack, posting an incredible, good, clean run. Chuck Radabaugh in the 55 Chevrolet, qualifying number 18, Ken Rainwater number 7. Tell you what, Chuck has took on quite an undertaking right here in Ken Rainwater. Ken winning our race B-Gas competition in Florida, the first of the year, and a seasoned veteran behind the wheel of a drag race entry. Chuck Radabaugh, he has been around. The man has done some racing, but he has not won a Southeast Gasser event as of date. Both cars. Chuck is in the pre-stage bub. He is waiting on Ken. The starting line ritual has begun. Both cars are pre-staged. Both of them waiting. Neither one wanting to go in first. A little bit of a battle going on here. Ken is in. Chuck is in. Ken Rainwater taking it through for the win over Chuck Radabaugh, sending them boys back down to Florida. Gary Smith, Chicken Bone, Henry J. up against T.J. York in the Greenhorn Hillbilly 55 Chevrolet. It is on. T.J. York taking the win over Gary Smith in the Chicken Bone. T.J. York advancing on to round number 2. All right, Jason Roberts in the Carolina Moon taking on Todd Oden in the Double Down 57 Chevrolet. As you can see, we are back under action. Todd Oden taking a win, first round away from Jason. Going to send that Carolina Moon back to the moon via hometown of South Carolina. Left lane, Art Copeland in the Kryptonite Studebaker taking on Alfred Adams in the Einstein 55 Chevrolet. Round number 1, B-Gas competition. Both cars pre-staged. Art is in, Alfred is in. We have a drag race, ladies and gentlemen, and a good one. Art Copeland, I mean, pulling that one out by a hair. What a drag race start to finish. All right, ladies and gentlemen, got the track crew out here. They are finished. Apparently, there was an issue with the 3:30 clock when Kelvin Cannon hit it. However, what they're trying to do here is just, I think what the effort was to let B-Gas finish so that they didn't stop that competition, because B-Gas is now, round number 1 is now complete, and we are ready to move into the A-Gas competition, round number 1. Leslie Horn in the Chick Magnet, number 1 qualifier in A-Gas. Now, let me tell you, that is a statement, because these guys are fast, they're quick, and they're just aggressive. A-Gas competition, the absolute stiffest they are in the Southeast Gassers Association. It's just as tough to win a race in B-Gas, C-Gas, or Superstock. The problem with A-Gas is the violence of these cars. They can be so out of control, and the driver really, in my opinion, has got to get in touch with his soul every time he straps in one of these things, because they are evil. Leslie Horn, 55 Chevrolet Chick Magnet, my chick bad, it says on the back gate. Let's see just how bad it is, Leslie. Pretty bad, but if you ask me, sounded like it's slipping the clutch just a little bit through the gears. Gabriel Burrow rolling down into the water. I do not know where his competition is or what's going on with him. He may be fixing to get a competition single, and if so, that is bad news for the competition. Todd Blackwell would have been Gabriel Burrow's first round opponent, but as we discussed earlier, Todd Blackwell having an issue with an engine cylinder loss or something, unable to make it. This is going to be a competition single for Gabriel Burrell. As I said earlier, Gabriel currently the points leader in A-Gas competition 2021 here in the Southeast Gassers Association. Beautiful girlfriend Katie Jackson backing up that gold hot rod called the Southern Flyer. Gabriel Burrell out of Landrum, South Carolina, Columbus, North Carolina area. This car is one to watch. John Causey, Ford powered. This is one beautiful ride. Getting a ground shot here. This is going to be a single run. Let's see how this one unfolds. Katie Jackson got him in the beam, straight as an arrow, ready to go. Let's see if it's straight or let's see if it goes wild. This run, he's going to run it through. Why would a man run it through solid and hard like that? Why? Lane choice. If you are faster than your opponent in the next round, that gives you lane choice. Dean Jonas pulling up in the Agent Orange Chevy 2 up against the beautiful, beautiful 56 Chevrolet entry of Justin Moses. Another one of those beautiful, perfect Paul Vanderpool paint jobs on Justin's 56 Chevrolet. A-Gas competition. This car went to the finals at the last event in Shadyside with the one who just went down, Gabriel Burrell, taking the win at that event. Dean Jonas, he has visited Winner's Circle in the past, but it has been a while. He has got to get past one tough Justin Moses in this first round for an opportunity to make it to the finals. Agent Orange pulling forward into the beams. Backup girls getting them in position. These backup girls serve a multitude of purposes, but two of the biggest aspects to make sure that help those drivers know they're straight where they're at in the beams. And the benefit of that is not only for the driver but for the spectator, it helps to speed up the show. A good launch. Dean Jonas is out and goal. Dean Jonas taking the win. Absolute strapped a hole shot on JT Moses. Not sure what was going on with JT in that round, but he apparently was not ready when the tree came on. Now notice, ladies and gentlemen, that is not a countdown tree. That is called a pro tree. It's a 5/10 pro tree. These guys have no warning that this tree is fixing to illuminate. It is purely based on reaction time. There's no anticipation, no countdown, nothing like that. That's called a professional tree, and professional drag racing is what we do, and professional drag racing is what we're putting in your living rooms live today. Look at that shot of that beautiful Silver Streak Corvette of Kenneth Phillips. Wife Elizabeth doing the backup staging duties, walking away from the car, saying she's ready, honey. Go do your job. The children need shoes. Put a win on the board. We need the money. Looked like Rick Varner may have had the hole shot. Kenneth Phillips clearly coming around and taking that win, sending the dirt man back home, load up, rebuild, and try something else at the next event coming up not too long from now. The Iceman cometh, Rod Bergener. That car previously campaigned by Steve Davis under the banner of Spinny 2, and it was the 2020 A-Gas World Champion car. Now, that car came with, when he purchased that car from Steve, it came with two very crucial men who were part of that championship bid. They came along with that car to make sure that Rod remained and continued successful, and so far, so good. He hasn't won with it yet. A little bit of growing pains on Rod's part, but let me tell you, Rod is a great driver. This man from the Michigan area and has raced forever an old Gasser 55 Chevrolet on the frozen lakes in Michigan, ice racing, if you can imagine that, in a drag race. They put steel spikes or screw spikes from the inside out on tires, and they go ice racing, drag race style. Now, he has decided he turned in those spikes for slicks. He is out here on the hard, hot, dry asphalt. He has got a job to do right now up against the fortunate son, Sean McLemore. And here they come. Hang on to it, Rod. That car was about to go wild. But he turned on the wind bulb. Ladies and gentlemen, I have always said, and that is proof, there is no glory in backing off of that throttle. If you want to be the man, you better be willing to leg it, and Rod Bergener just legged that wild ride all the way through the finish line. That was worth the ticket of admission price right there in and of itself, in my opinion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, while we get ready for this next pair of A-gas cars, I wanted to remind you, June the 5th, London, Kentucky, at the drag strip there in London, Kentucky. I'm just drawing blanks today, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for that. Anyway, June the 5th, London, Kentucky. Come and watch it live if you can, and if not, be sure to tune in, southeastgassers.tv. Now, back to drag racing action, A-Gas. On the starting line, the frequent flyer, Alan Gaulden, the swamp monster out of Florida, taking on Rob Walden in the Strychnine 33 Willys 409 powered, one of the most beautiful race cars you will ever lay your eyes on. This thing, if it ran as good as it looked, it would be the fastest car on the grounds by about 5 seconds, if that would be possible. What a drag race! Alan Gaulden taking the win, the frequent flyer doing his duties of the swamp monster, coming up out of them Florida swamps here to the Alabama drag strip and putting another one on the trailer at the expense of Rob Walden and that 409 powered 33 Willys. Setting in the water now, Scott Butler and the Lil Varmint, Morris Minor. The Wildest may not be the prettiest car out here, but it certainly has been known as the wildest. Taking on the boogeyman of Chris Dunn, the beautiful green multicolored Chevy 2. Scott Butler having one of the most clean and perfect passes I have ever seen that car make in the second round of qualifying. Does he have enough for Chris Dunn and the boogeyman? I don't know. Time will tell. Coming up here in just a few seconds. Backing up from the burnout. Great view there of Scott Butler and the Lil Varmint. A guy once said, you see that A-gas written there on the fender of that little Morris Minor? Man was talking about A-gas, and he said, you know that letter A means something. That means that baby is fast and wild. Here we go. They have pulled up to the staging beams. Neither car in just yet. I do believe that the boogeyman is in pre-staged. Scott Butler is now in with him. Chris Dunn leaving him on the starting line. It is over. Chris apparently having some kind of an issue in high gear, but he had enough of a starting line advantage to hold off the strong charge of Scott Butler. You know, today's winner, in my opinion, Scott Butler may not have won the drag race, but I'm telling you what, he has won in getting that car to run and go down this racetrack like I have never seen before. Sammy Radabaugh, buddy, has he drawn a veteran over here in the right lane with Barry Lynn, the little red wagon. Barry has been with the Southeast Gassers from almost its inception. He has not missed much races, if any. He's had this wagon on the lid down in Carolina Dragway in Aiken, South Carolina. One of our races, this thing got loose, wound up on its lid, fixed it back. Don't matter. Barry Lynn is a drag racer, true and true. Sammy Radaball better have his lunch packed because he has got a day's work to do if he's going to put Barry Lynn on the trailer. Sammy is left with him. Barry Lynn pulling away in the hood coming off of Sammy Radaball's car in the shutdown area. That baby went sky high. That'll give you some indication of what kind of speeds these cars are traveling at. Everything good, though. I don't think no damage. He just without a hood, and it may not have even damaged it, but it come off of there somehow or another. Nonetheless, he's got plenty of time to fix it because that car will be sent back to Florida at the hands of Barry Lynn in the Little Red Wagon.